Monday, February 17th, 2020. This is episode 363. I'm your host, Patrick. You're tuned into We Live on a Planet, and I'm glad you are. Thank you. Hopefully it's not one of those days. I just kind of got...
Uh-oh. Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
The Mondays. Yeah, I'm just kind of... I think it's because I've been on a little bit of an upswing and some kind of a little bit of a mania, and I'm starting to come down a little bit, so I'm just kind of, Speaking of coming down, the temperature is going to come down because right now it's 31 degrees Fahrenheit. Feels like 24, but the highs are only going to be about 21 degrees Fahrenheit today. Winds are out of the north-northwest, 8 miles per hour. Stick around. We got a good show for you. I do appreciate you coming on over and visiting me here at We Live on a Planet. I always look forward to talking with you. We'll be right back. We'll start off with our quote when we come back. Stick around. Welcome back. Here's our quote. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. Joseph Campbell. Yeah. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. Mostly everything we want is just behind fear. We're just too afraid to go do it. Or it's maybe we've made mistakes before and we're kind of hang on to that heaviness. You know, you got to move on. Moving on doesn't mean you forget about things. It doesn't. It just means you have to accept what happened and continue living. So don't be afraid to enter that cave. Don't be afraid to move on and let things go and continue living. You're only here one time. There's no redos on this movie you're starring in. You're the star of this movie. Be the hero. You know, be the one that rises up and wins. Everybody loves a movie like that anyways. Yeah. So what are we going to talk about today? I don't know. I don't really, usually I'm like, hey, I got all kinds of stuff to talk about. And I really don't. I'm excited though that I'm getting a lot of good feedback in my community about my bags that I'm giving away March 1st. The newspaper article really brought a lot of light to it in my community, and I'm getting just fantastic feedback. And it feels good. It doesn't matter how old you are. In one more month, March 16th, I'll be 50 years old. I can't believe it. 50. Holy cow. Is there no sound effect for that? No? Okay. Yeah, 50. And it doesn't matter how old you are, you always want your parents to be proud of you. And I'm so happy that my dad, he's really proud of me about this stuff. My mom, obviously, too. But my nephew was over to my dad's house the other day, and he messaged me and said, hey, I just want to let you know I was visiting Grandpa, and he can't stop beaming about you being in the paper and your podcast, and he's just so proud of you. And that makes me feel so good. You know, I'm really lucky to have my dad in my life. And my biological father, I've never heard him say he was proud of me once, ever in my life. And my father, Daryl, he's always been there for me. So I'm very, 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 very thankful for that. You know, so I don't know where I'm going with this. I just kind of was talking. But I am going to move forward with my swag bag or my mystery box. If you follow the show, you know, not too long ago I told you, or my last episode, that I was going to possibly make a swag bag or a mystery box or whatever the heck you want to call it. And I decided to do it for my 50th subscriber to to my website, WLOAP.com. My 50th subscriber will get a over $50 value worth of swag. And it's not junk. It will be all nice stuff. I already have the stuff that I'm going to get for this swag bag all in works of everything that I want it to be. And it will be a little over a $50 value just for being my 50th subscriber to my website. I'd like to have that, get my website, get a little bit more wheels on it, and have that gain some speed. I've had that now almost as long as I've been podcasting, so almost 3 years. It's pretty neat. It makes me excited that there's growth still. You know, after you're doing something for a little while, you're wondering, is it becoming stale or whatever? But we live on a planet that's always constantly changing and growing, just like myself as a human. You know, we're always changing and moving and stuff. So, all right, well, I'm kind of rambling and lost with thoughts right now, so I'm going to take a break and we'll come back. We'll dive into some more stuff and things. I'll be right back. Thanks for bearing with me. Whatever. Because I talked about a cave earlier, you had to play Captain Caveman? All right, yeah. My producer, I don't know. Captain Caveman, do you even remember that? Captain Caveman and the Teen Angels? If you weren't born before 1977, you probably don't remember that. That's when Captain Caveman and the Teen Angels came out. 1977, Hanna-Barbera. What a weird... Cartoons were so strange in the 70s. Everything was strange in the 70s. I'm a child of the 70s, and I mean, Sesame Street, Electric Company, and just weird stuff. Weird things. And I remember that whole thing on, I think it was Sesame Street, that whole pinball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. See what I mean? My brain is all over today, so I do apologize. This podcast is probably a train wreck right now, but you know what? I'm going to continue to move forward. I'm pushing this big scary red button. There's times in the past that I have days like this and I end up choking and not putting out a show, and then I regret it. And I've talked to my therapist and my doctor, and they're like, when you're having days like that, push the red button so your listeners can hear really what you go through, how it's not always easy, and our thoughts are jumbled, and my thoughts are very jumbled this morning, and so I feel like I'm all over the place. I never have a plan for my show, but usually there's times it just flows perfectly, and other times not so much. But let's try to get on track. We'll learn something. We'll head on over to the facts site and see if we can get a little wrinkle on our brain. I went over to, just when right before I started the show, opened up the facts site to find out what we were going to talk about, and I was like, what's a good one? And I'm like, let's do a 50-50. But is it really 50-50? What are the chances of coin landing on heads? Probably it's 50-50, right? Well, it's not. If the coin is heads up at the start, it's more likely to land on heads. Students at Stanford University recorded thousands of coin tosses with high-speed cameras and discovered the chances are 51% chance it will land on heads. So next time you're going to be doing that whole coin toss with somebody, you flip the coin and make sure it's heads up and call heads. And now you've got a 51% chance. Or if you put it on tails, you would have a chance too. I think that's kind of neat though, because if you really think about it, the chances of a coin landing on its side, that's possible to any, it's weird. It's like the probability is, I can't remember where I read it on the internet, but the probability is that you could possibly have your dryer on, your dryer, and open up the door and all your clothes be folded. Will it ever happen to you? No. Could it happen? Yes. Perfectly folded? No, but folded. The odds of something like that, it's very, very, very minuscule, but it could happen. Yeah. All right. I have no idea where else I'm going with this. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Wow. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. Yeah, free. There's also creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will even distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. Listen to this, too. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Check out anchor.fm today. You can find me at anchor.fm/WLOAP. Hope to hear from you. Welcome back, my friends. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you coming back, even though this is a train wreck of a show. I do apologize. I just still wanted to push the button because Friday I didn't. And it wasn't because I was in one of these moments, believe it or not, I was sick again. If you follow the show, you know that I've had this weird sickness that keeps coming out of the blue. It's like a thief in the night, and it steals my health for at least 12 hours. And I'm violently ill when it happens. I'm sweating, shaking, fever, chills, nausea, vomiting. It's terrible, absolutely terrible. They've ran all kinds of tests on me. They have no idea what's going on with me. And so Friday came, and I could not put out a show. And so I apologize for that, because I do like to put out a show every Monday and Friday. Some are better than others. And like I said, this one's, I gotta stop being so down on myself. It's not that pear-shaped. It's still a tasty fruit. Speaking of tasty fruits, this has nothing to do with tasty fruits, but let's hear from you guys. You guys are not fruits. Where is my brain? Let's open up the phone lines to you guys before my producer pulls the plug on me. We'll be right back.
Hey Patrick, PD here, man. I just wanted to say I got your bag today. Thank you so much for sending me that. I know it wasn't cheap to send it. Way up here in Alaska, and we'll definitely display it proud. I'm gonna take some pictures and do some posts and stuff, and keep the We Live on a Planet movement going. I've always loved the title of and the idea, and just that it's catchy. We live on a planet, all together, all of us, so it's kind of cool. Of course, you know that. You made it up. But anyways, hope all's well. Again, man, I so much appreciate you send me that. It's really cool. It's like total Anchor swag. It literally is a swag bag. So anyway, man, we'll talk to you later. Peace.
Hey Patrick, I don't know if you know this, brother, but XFL 2.0, Vince McMahon officially put it into swing this weekend. It's a thing. And there are 8 teams, one of which is the New York Guardians. That's why I bring it up to you. And I gotta tell you, brother, they look really good. Some innovations for speed within the game itself is really going to be interesting. They have no PATs. You got to go for 3 different kind of conversions to get extra points. It's a faster paced game, and the New York Guardians look dominant, man. They look like they're going to be a team to beat in this 8-team league. All 4 winners this weekend looked really, really good, and I'm excited, man, because it's another football league, and it's a fast way to watch football. I don't know if you've heard about it, brother, but XFL's back.
Hey, welcome back. I love hearing from you guys. Thank you, PDE. I'm glad you got your bag in Alaska, and it is kind of a swag bag, isn't it? I really like the way it came out, and I'm so glad that there's going to be one kicking around in Alaska. It was a little bit of a loot to send. This has been kind of a costly venture, but worth it. I've never promoted We Live on a Planet in this way or my website, and it's well worth every money or every penny spent. I have the most it's cost me so far is there's one out in Poland. So yeah, that one was a little bit of change to send, and the bags itself are about $1.30 or something, I think, is what they came out to be. And then once you mail them and then throw in the magnets and stuff, yeah, it's been a costly little venture, but well worth it. And I'm thank you so much that you want to represent We Live on a Planet. I do appreciate it so much. I really, really do. And then Peter, my friend Peter McHugh, asking me about the XFL and talking about the New York Guardians. I have a question. Are the Bills going to be playing? Oh, they're not? No. I probably won't be watching it, Peter. I did watch last weekend when it came on. I was like, oh, the XFL's back on. I remember when it first came out, and it didn't go over very well, and it just kind of was, I don't know. I'm just such a purist when it comes to the NFL and my Bills. Not my Bills. I don't own the Bills, but the team I like, the Buffalo Bills. And if I used to, when I was drinking, now that I'm sober, I don't. But when football came on a Sunday, it gave me an excuse to, well, I never needed an excuse, but it gave me more of an excuse to drink even more. Now that I'm sober, if the Bills aren't playing or after the Bills are done playing, I stop watching football. I don't even watch any other teams because I I only care for them. I do enjoy watching football, though. It's fun. So I think that if the XFL was on in the background and I was with friends or what, I wouldn't turn the channel. I would have it on just to kind of watch. But I think that what's happened, just like in Hollywood, people can't come up with anything else. So they're like, hey, what can we do? Well, let's take something existent and tweak it a little bit, like they do with movies or TV shows, and there's no creativity. And I wish that they would come up with a completely different sport. Wouldn't that be neat? Maybe like a cross sport between 3 sports or just a whole new sport. That would be kind of neat. That would be neat. All right. I think I'm going to wrap up this show for today just because I'm struggling a little bit, and I don't want you guys to be bleeding out of the ears while you listen to this. But please, call me. Give me a buzz. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to play you on the show. It's awesome. All right. Stick around. We will be back Friday. Have a great week, my friends. I'll talk to you real soon. Sorry about this show that was such a train wreck. I guarantee... I can't say I guarantee. I'll do my best to make the next show better. Out of my 360, this is 363 episodes. This one was really a struggle. This one was really pear-shaped to me, but oh well. I pushed the button, and that's what makes me happy, because I worked through my fears, because I kind of had some fears today of pushing this button. All right, I'll talk to you guys Friday. Take care. Peace. Give me a buzz.